I have helped over 150 models over the past 2 years build an OnlyFans page or a modeling page online and make $15,000 to $30,000, sometimes even $40,000 a month in their pocket online. And the craziest part of all is that they kept it all secret. No social media is involved. They didn't have a huge following. They didn't do any crazy content, and nobody in their life knew that they were doing something like this. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the 4 biggest myths about OnlyFans and why everyone, when you think about OnlyFans, you think about Camilla or Sophie and Rain, or you think all about this going viral on social media or doing all of this crazy sort of stuff on Instagram and TikTok, hoping to go viral, hoping to tell everyone that you essentially are doing OnlyFans. And while the other side of OnlyFans is a much more discreet, much more professional, and much more innocent way to approach OnlyFans, and you can utilize it not to make millions and millions and millions of dollars, but to still make really good money for a few years so that you can have the ability to live. Now, this is not all based on theory. This is about me, that I have run the agency over the past 2 years. I've helped more than 150 girls, and I have done this with. I've watched them go from working into restaurant industry or working from a normal job that they really, really don't like to now being like buying houses, bought more than 3 properties, no one in their life knowing that they're doing this, and their goal essentially being starting from zero, doing it for a few years, making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then eventually moving on to something different. I have invested tens of thousands of dollars in my social media. I have also invested tens of thousands of dollars in ads into getting into finding models that would be the right fit for the opportunity. And I've spoken with thousands and thousands of girls that would be interested into working with my company. And I have also seen thousands of applications for applying to work with us. And I'm not saying all of this to flex. I'm saying all this because when I'm breaking down about the myths, they are all coming from real world experience and me having been in skin in the game for the past 2 to 3 years, work with 150 models and help them go this far. Myth number 1 is that you need a huge following. This is a big one, and it's a normal one because the reason that you know OnlyFans in the first place is not because you know OnlyFans is a platform, or you probably don't even have an account on OnlyFans. The reason that you know OnlyFans is because you see those big girls have millions and millions of followers telling everyone you do OnlyFans and then doing all those sorts of crazy or different and a little bit cringe sometimes videos on social media and essentially driving traffic to the OnlyFans. And that's like the biggest marketing method. And I'm going to be very honest, it's the number 1 way you can make the most money using social media. But this is just one of different marketing strategies. It doesn't, just because you know it is the most marketed method, of course, but it's also the most risky one. You have a risk of competing with hundreds and hundreds of creators that are trying to do the same thing. You have no privacy whatsoever, meaning that you might do it, you might even record a bunch of videos, do a lot of work, and you might not even end up making money from it. But there is another way. There is a lot of ways in order to do OnlyFans. The way that doesn't require you to record videos all day jumping up and down. The way to do the other marketing is essentially streaming, just having fun on a stream and engaging with an audience and growing a small, high quality following, is messaging, is Reddit, is all these other platforms, is sharing with other creators, yourself with other creators is another big method. And all of these methods are completely being done by someone else, except streaming. Streaming is done by you, but it's, again, not something like social media where you have to record tens of videos every single day, trying to catch a trend, trying to make money. Rather, you just get on a stream, you start talking just as you would have in a normal job, being, say, a waitress. So if you had thought that in order to do OnlyFans, you need to go viral and everybody in your family will find out, then this is another way to do it. That doesn't require you to have a huge following. In fact, it is way better if you don't have a huge following. And that brings me to myth number 2, which is everyone will find out. This is a big one because I'm going to be honest again, one of the biggest selling points in my agency is that no one in your life will ever find out. When we're working with a girl, usually the girls that come to us are like, yeah, I would consider doing OnlyFans. I am afraid of the stigma around OnlyFans, but at the same time, I don't want everyone in my life to find out. I don't want to do anything crazy, and I definitely don't want to do social media or become famous from it, right? And this is where they come to us. They're not the type of girls that want to do social media, blow up, do this for the rest of your life. They're much more so, hey, I need this right now because I'm in a situation where money would be really helpful to help my family, buy property, set myself up for life. But I don't want to do social media because everyone will find out. And so what we do from that is we have really a lot of ways around that, which may include like blocking states, blocking their locations, using a different name, all of the hiding their personal stuff from online so nobody ever will find it. So imagine that we're building 2 characters. Number 1 character being the model and number 1 character being the real person. Now, maybe people think, oh, this is a scam or this is whatever. Well, if you're thinking about like, what about actresses and actors? Like, of course you're gonna use an alias name, or when you're portraying a character, of course. You're doing OnlyFans, which is a creator and entertainment platform. Of course, you may use an alias name to entertain people. Doesn't matter how you entertain them. So again, if you thought before that needing to do OnlyFans means everyone will find out, then think again, because you have the ability to do it, but without everyone finding out. Myth number 3, you have to do crazy explicit. This is also a big one, because a lot of people think about, when they think about OnlyFans content, they think, okay, this is like porn, or this is like doing crazy stuff and like posting everything is super explicit on my page. Whereas in reality, the best strategy that works out there, or at least the one we use, is if you go to the OnlyFans of the models that we work with, it's simply like an Instagram page with a subscription, and that's the funniest thing of all. And again, the marketing method, again, not explicit. So you can still make a lot of money without having to go super explicit. Now, it may include some other explicit stuff depending on what the model is comfortable with. Of course, it is OnlyFans at the end of the day. But it doesn't mean that you have to be crazy in it. Like 80, 90, 95% of the content that we do and we post is pretty much non-explicit. Bikini, lingerie, here and there, and that's really it. The problem with OnlyFans is that because it allows, say, pornographic content or explicit content, then that's made everyone think that in order to do OnlyFans and make a lot of money, you have to do this type of content, which is completely untrue. There's so many ways, and I know some other friends, I've met other agencies, not just us, that are doing the same thing. They're making a lot of money for the girl, at the same time, without having her to make super crazy content and explicit content. Not everyone is comfortable with that. And so this is also something that we do as well. So if you thought before that in order to do OnlyFans explicit content, you're completely right from thinking that, but it's simply just because society and social media has put that in your head. And yeah, most of the times, of course, so OnlyFans will include some explicit content. Just remember that it's not the only thing that it is. And myth number 4, when you're hiring an agency, they're gonna take so many earnings, or you're gonna pay something up front, or there are a lot of costs in getting started. The myth number 4 is that they're being afraid to hire an agency just because they take a big cut or they take a lot of money from you. Now again, which I'm an agency owner, I own the agency that we run. I would decide to get a model, work with her, and do it everything by myself for her. I would not be able to do it. There's so much stuff included into the service of making a successful account that does like $100,000 and $130,000 per month that you don't even realize until you actually get in the trenches. Like if you're a girl that thought, okay, why do I need an agency? I already know how to do social media, or I have a big following. You can definitely do marketing on your own. If you like going to go social media, you already have a following, and you want to pass that into OnlyFans and then just chat with the fans yourself or sell or whatever. Do that yourself. Of course, you have the ability to do that. But the one thing that you don't understand is that you are one person and you cannot chat, say, and sell and whatever for 24 hours a day. You cannot possibly do that. Like, if I just help work with a girl, I can't possibly do that. It's impossible. You have to manage the content, upload the content, and get best trends on what's working in terms of like social media, market yourself, spend a lot of time in marketing, 24/7 chatting, managing the account, managing the postings, managing PPVs. There's so much stuff that it comes around it. Which imagine that each model that we work with has a team of about 6 to 8 people behind her account helping her manage it, right? And on top of that, the model does work as well. She does like 20 or 25 hours work weeks with us. And on top of that, we have like 6 to 8 team people managing the account as well. So imagine that together, how much time that is. So if you thought before that you can do OnlyFans alone, if you want to make a couple of $1,000s a month, then you definitely can do that. But if we're talking, you want to make some big bucks, like get your account to make $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 a month, then I'm sorry to break it to you, but I and you, or me and you together, just the two of us, cannot do that together. Even though I know the exact strategy, I can't. You need manpower, you need experienced team, you need people that are already trained, and you need a lot that comes back to it. I hope this video helped you realize that OnlyFans is a little bit different than what society has portrayed it to be on social media. This video has helped you and opened up your mind about what OnlyFans really is. Some people are opposed to it, some people are not. Some people say it's frowned upon. But this is more so stated some facts about OnlyFans that will help you get clarity in terms of what OnlyFans actually is, how it can be used. And even though if you thought about it before, like, should I do OnlyFans? Should I not do OnlyFans? And maybe this gave you the next step of like, okay, yeah, that makes sense type of thing. Now, if you want me to break down how a model can get from $0 to $100,000 per month in just 1 month, then just comment that below in the comments, and I will make that video as well to show you guys the entire process of how a model gets from zero to $100,000 a month in her first month. We've done this a lot of times as well, so I can break that down to you. Anyway, I appreciate you watching the video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more like this. I'll be posting more like this, and I'll speak to you soon.